Hello and welcome back to the Sell Like You podcast with me, Harriet Meller. Now, today I'm sharing with you 4 stages, 4 tips to reigniting your leads. Now, we ran a webinar and it was all about how 96% of leads are not being communicated with regards to sales, and that could be bringing them into a deal pipeline or it could be bringing them in to a conversation pipeline. And so I'm going to share with you this real quick episode around the 4 stages to reigniting to ensure that you can come along this journey, that you can reignite at any time. The beauty of reigniting is that it doesn't matter how old the lead is. It will just depend on how you want to engage with them. Now, if your lead is within the last 6 to 12 months, then I would definitely be recommending that you are picking up the phone. You're using the reason why you are reigniting. So if they have gone off with regards to sending a proposal, if you met them and you now don't know what to do next, all of those different things is really going to help you to then solidify that message and then help engage with them. So what do I mean by that? If you've been to a trade show and met someone and then done nothing with it, if they've downloaded a white paper or a resource and you've done nothing with it, if you did a proposal and then just went cold because you were like, they'll call if they want it. That approach leaves us with a lot of data and a lot of contacts untouched. So step 1 is, who do we want to engage with? So I look at that as a bucket. I look at that as a bucket of information. If you've got a CRM, I'm sure you'll be looking at better data than those of you that aren't. So in a CRM, you can tag, you can score, you can make notes, you can add activities, you can look at whether they were a lost lead, current opportunity. There's so much you can see, which is why I love a CRM. However, if you are using something else, if you're using a spreadsheet, if you just want to go after people that you've engaged with or connected with on LinkedIn, there are definitely ways to do that. Now, once you've found the list, you then want to find or highlight where it was you connected, how you connected. And from there, you can then bring them then into the next stage, which is finding your reason. So you met them at a show, they came across to a booth, and you want to reignite them because they're an ideal client, they're in an ideal industry, and you're seeing great results from this freebie, and you want to engage with them in that way. Once we've done that, we then need to find the reason, as in that's the reason there, as in that's how we previously met. But the reason is going to be to add more value, to bring them back into the loop, to call them as promised, or whatever the thing was that you last spoke about. So it's very, very customized and tailored. And then we move through then into step 3, which is the follow-up. So we've got the list, we've got finding reasons to engage, and we use how we connected with them. And then we look at what we're going to offer and how we want to engage with them next. The follow-up then comes in the form of an email, a call, or a LinkedIn. There are so many other platforms, so many different ways to do this, but I'm going to keep it real simple for you. As I said, short, punchy. This is going to help you fill some opportunities into your pipeline, or at least fill your calendar on those first instances. So once we've got the follow-up, we need to be consistently persistent. It's not pushy, it's not salesy, it's not trying to get them into a meeting and quickly because we need to fill that, because what's the point in having a meeting if afterwards they're not even ready? So don't waste your time. So we want to make sure that we've got an offer for them. If it's within the last 6 to 12 months, I highly recommend calling. It means we get a conversation back and forth. It means that we're able to uncover more, ask a couple of questions, and then move on. So move on could be send them something, it could be book a meeting, it could be to speak to them again in 3 to 6 months. But with a phone call, we're able to do that. If we are emailing, we are hoping they're going to come back to us with the information and say yes or no, and then give us the whole reason why. The chances are they don't. They'll come back and say, thanks, yeah, absolutely, happy to chat in May, happy to chat in November. Okay, that's all we're going to get. And then it's going to be like, well, what are we going to say in the meantime? Now, there's definitely ways around it, but we want to pick up the phone because we want that conversation. If we struggle with a call, we can connect on LinkedIn, we can message on LinkedIn, and we've also got the email option. If we're ever emailing first, that's often recommended when they are beyond 12 months. So you've not spoken to them for 2 years. Phone call might feel a bit like, oh, do you remember me from 2 years ago? It feels a little more stretched. And so we want to be able to make them feel really comfortable, make them feel familiar with who you are and what you do. We can then therefore send an email and then use a follow-up call to then say, hey, sent you an email. We met a couple of years ago. The reason why I wanted to reconnect today is this. Okay, so we've got those pieces we go through. Now, the fourth stage is then how do we nurture and our next steps. Now, this is all great to kick this off, get people moving. You get a couple of meetings, then you get busy and you stop doing it. That is not how we work in sales. It's not conducive to the effort that you put in, and it will just make it harder. Every time you stop to pick it back up again, you're going to have to go back through and reignite. You're going to have to go back and do something. And if you're the reason that it didn't progress, it's going to make it even harder to go back and engage with them again. So with that, we then want to secure our next step. So CRMs are great because they give us the activities and we get to set, the next meeting or the next follow-up with our notes. Also great. We can still do that within our Outlook or, Gmail, whatever you're using, and put that in your calendar. And so they're the 4 steps. 4 steps, they're quick. 6 minutes I've done that in, depending on the editing that Brooke does. So 5 minutes, there's your 4 steps. So we've got who do we want to follow up with? Let's focus on the hot first. Let's focus on people that have engaged previously. Let's focus on somebody that has maybe had a proposal, a discovery call. You met at an event recently. We want to find a reason. So where was it? What was the moment that you met? Or when was the last touch point? Why do you want to re-engage? Is it a webinar? Is it a download? Is it value? Really focus on the value. Or you can focus on a meeting or a re-engagement or an opportunity to update and reflect and find out more if that's related to what you last spoke about. Reach out to me again early 2025 and we'll share more on this. Or we're running this project, we should be finished by this time. Okay, so really think about what the reason is and focus on value first. If it makes sense to have that meeting, if you're going to be in that area, focus on that. But the aim for the call is 3 minutes, 4 minutes, it shouldn't be long. Then we're booking in the next thing or we're adding the next value. And then we just keep going in that cycle. We need to slow it down. Now, I specialize in technology and cyber, and so therefore we're dealing with these larger deal sizes. We need to slow down. They need to get to know us. On average, it's 7 to 15 touch points to convert a deal. Okay, if we've only done 3 of them, we've still got a handful left to go. Okay, so don't rush the finish line. The chances are you won't close them within that time frame anyway. Okay, so consider those 4 points. I will also pop a link to the recording of our webinar if you would like a full 45 minutes on this topic, including templates and guides and processes and examples. I would love to give you free access. Click the link in the show notes and you can get that for free, which is beyond this 4 steps. If you just need this 4 steps just for a quick G up, there you go. We've done it in less than 10 minutes. Off you go. Have a great day of prospecting. Fill that pipeline. Happy selling. And I'll see you again next time on the Sell Like You podcast.